Good morning everyone, good to see you all. We here on TMS just love to be the bearer of good news, and when that good news is related to Pakistan, the feeling is even sweeter. So with that thought, let me inform you that a Pakistani woman police officer has received the 2011 International Female Police Peacekeeper Award in recognition of her outstanding performance. Yeah. Now, how about that? Shahzadi Gulfarm is a Deputy Superintendent of Police and is currently deployed with the United Nations mission in Timor-Leste as the UN Police Team Leader posted in the capital, Delhi. Yeah, here's a picture. That is Shahzadi Gulfarm, and she is the first Pakistani woman officer to receive this prestigious award. And Officer Gulfarm was also the first Pakistani female to be deployed in the UN mission in Bosnia-Herzegovina in 1997, yeah, that would be 1997, and subsequently served in UN missions in Kosovo in 1999 and Timor-Leste in 2007. And just so you know, there were 12 award applications which were submitted for this competitive award, and our Shahzadi came up tops. Yeah, so congratulations to her, and I absolutely loved this story. So I wanted to start with this. You're watching the morning show with Huma, Amir, Shah. Let's look at newspaper headlines first. The Express Tribune reports on the federal government approving surgical operations in 9 identified areas of Karachi against target killers, and decided to mount the crackdown indiscriminately, transcending political considerations. Meanwhile, Dawn highlights Pakistan being committed to strengthening anti-terror cooperation with China, as stated by Foreign Minister Hina Rabbani Khar after being questioned on the basis of Pakistan being a safe haven for militants blamed for attacks in West China. And the Daily Times headlines: in a swift reaction to the government's new pick for the office of the Auditor General, the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Chaudhry Nisar Ali, dissolved all special and subcommittees as well. Alright, so you know national newspapers, and now moving on to international newspapers. The New York Times headlines: buoyed by their seizure of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's fortress-like compound in Tripoli, rebels sought to strengthen their control, pursuing pockets of loyalist resistance and placing a nearly $2 million bounty on the Libyan leader's head. UK's Guardian highlights Steve Jobs, the chief executive officer of Apple, having resigned from his position at the technology giant, as the 55-year-old pancreatic cancer survivor has been on medical leave for an undisclosed condition since 17th January. And the National from Abu Dhabi reports on a New York judge dropping all sex crime charges against Dominic Strauss-Kahn, bringing the curtain down on a 3-month saga that destroyed the career of one of the world's most powerful men. All right, so there you have it. He's a free man now, suddenly. Oh well, what can we do about it sitting here in Pakistan? Moving images now, and we can get on right with it. And the first one is in your face. Yeah. And this is what it looks like in your face. US soldiers protect their faces from helicopter downdraft as wounded comrades are airlifted out, and this would be in Afghanistan. And the lighter side of a boy getting a ride in a rubber duck pulled along by his mother down a flooded street next to the swollen Yom River in Thailand. So there's some flooding in Thailand these days. Definitely out of season there. This is a man dressed as Santa Claus walking on Venice Beach in Los Angeles, and this, yeah, makes you wonder what's going on. But you know, if you go to States, you'd find a lot of people like that. People dressed up in different characters just roaming around. Like this one, Runaway Bride. This is a bride in her wedding dress runs from the courthouse in Lower Manhattan after an earthquake struck the US East Coast. And this picture is New York City. So she's running away, but she also remembers to BBM. Nailed there, and a street entertainer lays down on a bed of nails. Ooh, that's painful during a performance. And this would be in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Edinburgh, Scotland. Wow, that looks very painful. And of course, if you can't beat them, join them. And this is a peacock farm. Has created a wedding gown made out of more than 3,000 peacock feathers. And according to farm owners, it took 3,150 feathers collected from 200 male peacocks. Off the shelf, and again we are talking about the earthquake we just told you, and this is just to give you an idea of how severe it was. Last one for you, sweet. This is the Ferrari 458 Spider, which will be presented at the Frankfurt Motor Show, and that will be in September. So you know, of course, you have to see things first here on TMS, so this was unleashed to you. Yeah. Okay, so all right, history lesson now, should we? Why don't we just let them go today? No, history lesson, sorry, my producer is very strict about that. Today is the 25th of August, and let's just get over with it, you know, quickly. Now, though he was already established as an actor on the rise, Sean Connery blasted into international stardom when he surpassed several other name actors to become James Bond for the first installment of the decades-long spy franchise. There he is, Dr. No. Of course, was the franchise, and after which Connery was primed to take his career to the next level, which he did when he won an Academy Award for his role as a gruff old Irish cop in The Untouchables, and he followed with a memorable performance as the senior Dr. Henry Jones in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And though retired following a string of lesser efforts in the 90s and into the next century, Connery left behind a career of performances that was surprising in both their variety and subtlety, which only assured his place in cinema history. And he was born today in 1930. Wow, do your math please. Okay, now this one, though he had an affinity for playing villains, actor Tom Skerritt, was a familiar face to audiences as all-American authority figures, soldiers, police officer, father, and in prominent features and television series over several decades. And after first gaining attention as the irreverent Southern Dr. Duke Forrest in Robert Altman's MASH, Skerritt went on to an accomplished career that was marked with intelligent, penetrating performances. And I could name a few. One was The Turning Point, I think, and then of course there was Alien. He was in Top Gun as well, A River Runs Through It. Just a few names that I remember. Yeah. And his most prominent TV show that I remember is also Picket Fences. Now, although Gene Simmons found fame as a blood-spurting, fire-breathing, bass-playing demon with Kiss, his early years were about as far removed as you can possibly get from the notorious heavy metal band. And with Kiss announcing their farewell tour in 2000, some assumed that it would be the last the public would hear from Simmons and company, but this proved hardly to be the case as the band toured the world off and on for the next few years. Meanwhile, Simmons became involved in numerous projects, including penning an autobiography, creating his own magazine, Gene Simmons' Tongue, of course, and developing his own clothing line, Gene Simmons' Dragonfly. And of course, he was also hosting a TV show and was also in discussions, about relaunching his record label. Yeah. They do so much, don't they? The classic is Gene Simmons' Tongue. Okay, now when Elvis Costello's first record was released in 1977, his bristling cynicism and anger linked him with the punk and new wave explosion, and he tore through rock's back pages, taking whatever he wanted as well as borrowing from country, tin pan alley pop, reggae and many other musical genres. So basically he's done everything, and over his career that musical eclecticism has distinguished Costello's records as much as his fiercely literate lyrics. So he's quite smart that way as well, and because he supports his lyrics with his richly diverse music, Costello is one of the most innovative and best songwriters since they say Bob Dylan actually. Okay, now Sikandar Bakht is a former Pakistani cricketer who played in 26 tests and 27 ODIs from 1976 to 1989, and this tall and gangling fast medium bowler had a tendency to invoke a very lively pace from most pitches, which made his natural outswinger a nightmare for most batsmen, and competing against great bowlers of the time he was usually underestimated, and he made headlines by breaking the arm of English captain Mike Brierley, during a one-day match in Karachi. So that's his claim to fame as well. Now, despite his contrarian artist nature and indie filmmaker persona, director Tim Burton helmed some of the biggest blockbusters in Hollywood history, and with his roots in drawing and animation, Burton crafted over his career distinctly designed films that reflected the gothic horror influences of his youth. And starting with Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Burton quickly developed a reputation for a surreal artistic vision, and he made many such movies. I can name a few for you: Batman, Dark Knight, and Ed Wood as well. Big Fish was his as well, and there was this latest one, I'm forgetting the name, with Johnny Depp in it. I don't know, Sleepy Hollow was another one, but I was thinking of yet another one. Alright, it seems like we have moved on to Claudia Schiffer. Now Claudia Schiffer is one of the original 5 supermodels of the early 1990s, and she gained her popularity and worldwide recognition among men, of course, and women as well, by appearing in guest advertisements in early 90s. And at 5'11", that's her height, with long flowing blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, she has appeared on over 500 magazine covers, and her annual calendar, which she designed herself, and donated the proceeds to such charities as a lot of charities actually. So, do you know, I was telling about Claudia Schiffer, but my mind was still on Tim Burton, because the movie that I was thinking about was Alice in Wonderland. That was a couple of years back, I think 2 maybe. Oh well, a bit of an update from Karachi coming your way. Now, in the latest measures to quell violence in Karachi and establish the government's writ, massive search operations have been launched in the city's most violence-hit areas, and police have arrested 4 suspects during late-night search operation. However, no weapons have been seized, and moreover 6 suspects have also been arrested from another area, Daud Goth area of Qaidabad. A search operation was also conducted in the Sadr area, but no arrests were made. And just so you know, on Wednesday, 14 suspects were arrested in targeted operations in the Pakhtun-dominated areas, while Malir, Liari and Park Colony will also be searched, and rangers along with the Karachi police conducted a joint operation in Orangi town as well, and seized a heavy cache of arms, drugs and explosive chemicals. Our hearts and prayers are with the people of Karachi at this moment. Now, the battle for Libya continues, and in the latest development, Libyan rebels advancing towards Sirte, or is it Shirk? This is the hometown of Colonel Gaddafi, by the way. It was blocked in the town of Bin Jawad as loyalists kept a stiff resistance, and reporters say heavy artillery fire could be heard from Gaddafi's forces in Sirte, and from the oil town of Brega, columns of military vehicles were heading to another place to help the rebels, who were facing artillery shelling from loyalist forces there as well. And meanwhile, the rebels have also announced head money of $1.6 million to kill or capture Colonel Gaddafi, as well as protection for members of Gaddafi's close circle who would kill or capture him. So the guns are out, and you know what they say. I was actually thinking of a proverb, but it didn't fit here. Sorry, sometimes that happens. Whoa, my producer really, I think, kind of insulted me by saying that it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Yeah, actually very close to that. Now, Kate Winslet not only escaped a fire at Richard Branson's island home, she also helped save his mother's life. And according to Branson, the Oscar winner carried the 90-year-old from the main house to safety. And yes, Kate just doesn't, play heroines in the movies. It turns out she's one in real life as well. We have any pictures? Okay, none of the mother. Now, the fire which destroyed the main house on the private Caribbean island was likely caused by a heavy lightning storm that struck the island, and Winslet, who was one of a group of 20 staying at the house, escaped from the blaze unharmed, as did the other guests. And Winslet is reported to have said it was like being on a film set where you are waiting for the words cut, but they just don't come. Yeah, how about that? So I think she has a good career after she's done with movies to, maybe join the fire brigade or something. Good enough? All right. Okay. Now, international concern is growing over a fresh wave of violence between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants. And Israel has carried out airstrikes in the Gaza Strip while militants have been firing rockets into Israel. And since last Thursday's attacks, Palestinian militants have fired more than 100 rockets and mortars into Israel, killing one man in Beersheba and injuring dozens of other people. And Egypt also reported rocket fire hitting its territory, and already Israeli airstrikes over the past few days have killed at least 15 people in the Gaza Strip and injured dozens more. And the 22-member Arab League held an emergency meeting to discuss the growing tensions and issued a strong criticism of Israel. And this incident has also led to a diplomatic dispute between Israel and Egypt, which is, by the way, considering recalling its ambassador from Tel Aviv. Okay. So, a lot of what is going on in the Middle East. Now, finally, on the 10th day of Anna Hazare's fast, the Indian government finally took some real steps to end the impasse with the anti-corruption crusader and his associates. And his ministers began discussions with Team Anna. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh sent a letter to Anna at the Gandhians' massive sit-in, urging him to end his hunger strike. There he is. And before the PM's letter, the government had suggested that some features of Anna's bill could be added as amendments to the government's bill. Okay, you know what Anna Hazare has been saying lately, that he can still run 2 miles, even with the hunger strike going on. And the latest person to have joined this Anna Hazare brigade is Rajnikant, after Amitabh Bachchan and all those Indian actors and stuff. So it's Rajnikant now. Yeah, how about that? That is some endorsement, I must say. Now, it is perhaps a fitting tribute to racial cooperation. However, the decision to outsource to China the carving of a new national memorial to Martin Luther King has raised eyebrows in the United States. Okay, first let me look at this. Okay, not bad. Now, this 30-foot tall statue, which forms the centerpiece of a $120 million 4-acre memorial to Dr. King, opened to the public on the National Mall in Washington. It is the only memorial on the mall that does not honor a president or a fallen soldier. However, there has been controversy over the choice of Li Yixin, a 57-year-old master sculptor from Changsha in Hunan province in China, to carry out the work. And critics have openly asked why a black or at least an American artist was not chosen, and even remarked that Dr. King appears slightly Asian in Mr. Li's rendering. Did you think so? Did he look a little bit Asian there? Oh well, what do you expect? Okay, now 50 contestants enjoyed the opportunity to take out all of their technical frustrations when they took part in the mobile phone throwing world championship. This has to be very cool. Sometimes don't you feel like doing that? Oh, that landed very nicely. Now, the mobile phone throwing world championships were held in Finland, and competitors were judged purely on the length of the throw in the traditional throwing over the shoulder hurl. And in freestyle throwing, points were also awarded for aesthetics and creative choreography. Imagine that. That's a good one. You know, my team is telling me in my ear right now that if this competition was held in Pakistan, there would be less throws and more, you know, sitting down there to catch the phones as well. You never know. Oh well, okay, we are going to be taking a very short break, and when we come back, we have our guest in the studio and we are talking about cosmetics and styling. Why not? Yeah. Back. Now, would you believe that with Eid just round the corner, I have received loads of emails from girls saying that while we keep on bringing new fashion designers on the show and showcasing variety in Eid wear, we have yet to discuss makeup and new trends in that sphere. I hear you, ladies. Your wish is my command. So today I have asked my very good friend, who also conveniently for me happens to be Lahore's A-list makeup artist, to drop by this morning and share some makeup tips with us. So please welcome Nabiha Zeeshan, who is the CEO of The Square, Pakistan's first high-end specialty makeup skincare perfumery store. And also Nabiha is a makeup artist, a stylist, a trainer. Too many things, Nabiha. Hello, good morning. How are you?
I just got a little confused. Good morning.
Yeah, who are you, by the way? What do you consider yourself?
I'm a Gemini, which
good
means
one. Which
I
means
try to do a lot of things at the
I
same
can
time.
tell. Okay, Nabiha, welcome and good to have you here.
Likewise.
Let's talk makeup first. Does makeup really start with skincare? That is one question that everybody asks.
Of course, Huma, the basic of makeup, like when you want to look good, you have to have a good canvas to work on. So that's what I concentrate on. Even when I'm doing my brides, I expect them to come in at least twice before their main day, because then we can work on their skin and we can prime it up and we can give them a few products.
So obviously they have to be start doing that much earlier.
Oh yes, much earlier means, you know, a week earlier is okay.
Okay, so if we are talking about Eid, let's say, because you know our concentration is on Eid, so this is the time that people should actually start taking care of their skin. What should they start with?
They should start drinking a lot of water.
True,
and I should start drinking a lot of water too.
Of course,
my
we
skin
all
is
should.
really dehydrated because of Ramzan.
So
you have to really you have to really hydrate your skin and moisturize it at night. You see, women in our country and men too, they do not wear moisturizer much. They don't wear eye creams, they don't wear moisturizer. Once you're 21, 22, that's it. You have to start giving your skin the moisture that it loses every day. And then there's so much damage that you do to your skin. There's so much free radicals that are in the environment that actually it's like a war going on between your skin and the free radicals, you know, in your environment. And so many pollutants, like, you know, there is sun damage, there is smoke outside,
just exactly,
there is
pollution,
dust.
there's so much.
So all this adds on to the aging process, and then on top of that, lack of water, late nights, all these things
Now,
will
Nabiha,
add up.
would you agree, a lot of people, and I confess that I'm also kind of one of them, you know, we tend to say, acha pani baad mein piyenge, but we will buy expensive products, you know, outward we'll do a lot, but we will not be, you know, I don't know, nourishing ourselves the other way around.
Yes, we're not very...
Why not? I mean, if somebody has the money to spend on expensive creams, shouldn't that work?
It does, but what you put in yourself, they say, shows outside. It definitely does. If you're eating vegetables, the results will show in a week.
Okay,
it really
cool.
does. If you're drinking milk, drink milk till Eid.
So there's water and milk, and this is the makeup artist who's actually giving us the true. You know, after that, of course, you can do a lot on the face as well, but you have, these are key ingredients. Nabiha, some product, something that is absolutely a must this season, and with Eid round the corner, something that you absolutely have, because this is what girls would like to know. Something that sells out like hotcakes at your store.
Blush.
Blush, of course, of course.
Blush sells like hotcakes at my store.
Why is that?
And concealer.
And concealer, of course.
Yes, it is really popular.
Is it a Pakistani problem that we have a lot of under eye circles and all, or because you have worked absolutely everywhere and extensively in the United States? Or please, make us feel better by telling us that everybody has these issues.
Everybody has these issues, especially the American women have these issues probably even more.
Really?
Because they're very fair skinned, so they totally look very greyish here if they don't wear a concealer and they just put on a foundation. But the Western woman is very aware of her beauty, and no matter how simple she looks, she puts on a lot of makeup. Layering of makeup is what they do in everyday life. We, on the other hand, are not very aware of what looks good on us, and that's why I'm doing these classes before Eid at the store.
Oh, of course, you have been
doing these workshops, and they're only for 3 days and 2 days. So people can come in and get a 4-hour workshop, 6-hour workshop, in which I will teach them how to do the Eid look.
Oh, lovely. Okay, let me then please tell our viewers here that this workshop is going to start when?
It started every day. It's happening at different hours.
And this is at the square here in Lahore, of course, because there are so many people watching us.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're in Lahore, you can actually meet Nabiha and take some tips as well. These classes, these workshops at the square. I'm going to put it all up on our Facebook page, so you know. Okay, this is very interesting, about the Western woman compared to the Eastern woman, because I would think that Pakistanis, if you only concentrate on ourselves, we do a lot more makeup than what they apparently look like, because they don't, you don't see a lot of color. They probably might have used a lot of products, but the effect afterwards is not overdone.
Because their product is of very good quality, number one. Number two, they always use a primer before they put on foundation. A primer actually makes your foundation look very subdued and makes you look very flawless. So these are the things that we should also bear in mind. And my purpose here to open up my store is not just to give services, not just to do bridals, but also to actually create that awareness in the Pakistani woman. And we do these traveling workshops, they're mobile workshops in which we travel Karachi, Islamabad, because I think, Huma, there is a lot that needs to be sort of learned.
Absolutely. And people, I'm sure people who do take care of themselves, their grooming, they would understand that it makes you feel very good, it makes you feel very confident as well. And why wouldn't one do something that is actually fulfilling you? Why not? Your workshops, I understand they are also, you have held some in Karachi as well.
Yes, I have.
And Faisalabad
I have in Faisalabad as well, and in Islamabad and in Lahore. So ongoing, they go like people make their own schedule and they come in with their friends in groups of 2 or 3.
Nabiha, you have to let us know, because people from all over Pakistan watch our show. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you or at these workshops, they can always join in. You use this term primer. When a Pakistani girl like myself would go to a store, buy something, yes, I would probably get myself a foundation, but what's a primer? I mean, should I be asking for it at anywhere I go?
I don't know if it's readily available in all the stores, but I'm sure in the more upscale premium type of where premium products are available, you'll find it. A primer is a transparent, colorless, it comes either in a tube or in a bottle. It's like a cream. It looks like a cream, but it's actually a base which is transparent and it's very matte. The purpose of a primer is to mattify your skin. And to make it look very even and not shiny and very smooth.
So prime it before you start your makeup.
Like you prime up your walls before you paint them.
Okay.
So it's exactly almost the same.
Lovely. Okay, some tips, makeup tips for Eid as well. It's going to be a very hot Eid.
Yes, but still it's calmed down a little bit because of the rains in Lahore.
True, it has. But it's still humid. By the way, one tip you have to give us, because all across the board, I mean, it is humid, even in Karachi, if you see in Punjab as well. How do we make sure that our makeup stays? I mean, primer is one.
Primer is one.
But what? A lot of loose powder? What
no,
else?
there are products like, again, there's colorless tubes that come in different brands. If you put them on top of your makeup, then your makeup actually does not start you know, looking very shiny or breaking up.
Okay.
And there's always a compact that a lady must carry in her purse. You know, like a powder foundation.
Of course.
No matter what she uses during the day, she must have a compact with her in her bag, so that you can sort of touch it up with a sponge.
Okay.
Thoda bahut, you know, they have to do it. They cannot just leave their skin unattended all day long.
Of course, and I think every woman actually does who keep that compact. Okay, this is for the women. What about the men? How should they be? And I understand that there are some products, at least in the square, I've seen that are very popular with men. So men have also started taking care of, you know, their grooming and all, taking interest.
Yes, they have. In fact, it's very important for men, equally important to wear eye cream, because you know they'll get crow's feet and they'll get wrinkles by the time they hit 30, 35. They must use a moisturizer. Same regimen as women. There is no difference. I don't know why it's considered very feminine if men use moisturizers, if they wash their face with a great face scrub or a face wash. I think it's equally important. If a man takes care of his skin, it just goes to show that he's, you know, he's pretty enlightened.
That's true. And after all, girls, I mean, why not encourage your men to do that? I mean, you are the ones who are going to be looking at them anyway.
Exactly.
So it's good if they. So eye cream is one that you recommend for men. These days, I don't know, Nabiha, what you make of it. We are seeing so many advertisements on TV for lightening creams for men as well. I mean, you are a makeup person. You have really studied. You know, does it work out for men? I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure it does.
I mean, would you recommend it?
I don't think this should be a problem. If I say I don't recommend it, I would be negating my competitors, because I'm also carrying a couple of brands. I'm sure every brand does well in one way or the other.
Okay.
So for sure there are ingredients. What they must bear in mind is the ingredients that have been used in the products. And if a company or a brand is not really labeling their boxes, their packaging, and not writing about the ingredient, then it's probably, you know, something that they are hiding.
Okay.
Other than that, if you are a bit, you know, well versed in the ingredients, I think it's perfectly fine.
Okay, it's interesting. You have mentioned also before this about the quality of the product that you're using, and especially when we were talking about the Western women and the quality of, you know, cosmetics that they use. Now in Pakistan, I mean, not always, you can't always get your hands on the right products, or you know what the expiry dates are, whatever. What should a person be looking for when they go to buy something? I mean,
they should be coming to the square.
Why not? Absolutely.
Because nothing is expired. That is the purpose of the store. And
everything is like
everything is fresh. The staff is there to assist you, help you, as if almost you've walked into a Henry Bendel or a Selfridges. That is the purpose of the store, to keep everybody, you know, at pace with the new changing trends, whether it's skin, be it makeup, color. But other than that, how do you really like make out if it's a fresh
no
product?
number mal or something which is...
You can't. I'll be honest. I can, because I've been to a couple of stores doing my research. I, you know, keep doing that. I'm a, you know, secret shopper.
Okay, shopaholic.
And a secret shopper, the term that is used in America when people go on a secret mission and they are paid for it. They're actually working within the store. They are very, you know, on high positions. They actually dress up like a client, and then they go around the makeup floors and other floors in order to see how well their products are doing, how well their sales associate is assisting the clients and the customers.
How interesting.
So I go on a secret shopping spree to makeup stores, which there are not many, but, you know, makeup departments in different stores.
Nabiha, that is so interesting. Now, I didn't know, and I know you so well. I didn't know that about you, that you are a bit of a James Bond in there as well.
I like window shopping. I love window shopping. That's all I did for 11 years.
Yeah, but
so I can't get, you know, off that habit.
Interesting. Now, Nabiha, of course, makeup we have spoken about. You would recommend light colors basically for you know, this heat
and
for
very
summer.
Fresh colors for your cheeks, which could be like a hot pink or a soft pink or an apricot. You know, something that catches the eye. Something really bright will not stand out that much on your cheeks.
Okay, one thing that I want to, you know, take the opportunity, Nabiha is here, so I'm going to ask her as well, because Nabiha is also a stylist. So I want to know, of course, you know, we do our makeup and stuff, as you say, you know, keep it simple, it's summer and all. How does the styling gel with the makeup, you know, loud colors on the clothes? do they mean loud colors on the eyes and the lids and the, lips as well? How do you balance things out?
I personally think if you have loud colors on your clothes, then your makeup should be really mellow. You can go a bit loud on your cheeks. Like I said, that is very much in fashion. It's very much in fad, all across the globe. But don't go too smoky eye if you're wearing very loud clothes. Do pastels like peach, do copper, bronze. That would look good. And also you have to learn to understand that you are a particular skin tone. You're either cool or you're warm. So if you are cool, that means blues and purples would suit you.
How can you tell am I cool or warm?
You are more towards warm because I see a gold shade in your complexion.
Okay.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Nabiha, I want to be cool. That's so unfair. You come on my show and you say I am cool, not you. Sorry. Or you could say I'm hot. Why do you have to say
you're hot and I'm cool?
Okay, chalo. I will agree to that word. Okay, so you can just tell, just by looking at.
You can actually do a little test on yourself. You wear a white T-shirt and you go in a mirror and you see yourself. If your complexion looks yellow in comparison to your T-shirt, you can see it from your neckline. It means that you're a warm tone because you have hues of gold and yellow in your complexion.
Okay.
However, when you wear a white T-shirt and your complexion is not a very stark contrast to the T-shirt and it sort of blends in with your complexion, pure white, then you feel that you're cool. So when I wear pure white, it doesn't really stand out. It does not instantly make my color look very yellow. Otherwise you will instantly look very much yellow in the mirror. So that's how you gauge.
Good,
so if you're cool like me, then you wear blues and grays. You can wear greens in your eyeshadows. You should stay away from colors that are very say reddish coral, because they go better with your skin tone, which is a warm skin tone.
I like coral.
Yeah, corals,
what
camel,
about
beige.
metallic colors?
Metallic colors can go with you and me both, but you could be wearing copper, bronze, browns, camels, beiges in metallics, and I could be wearing lavender, sky blue, grey in metallics. That would look great. And another thing is, if you're a cool tone, you look really good in pure white. And if you are a warm tone, you look really good in camel.
Lovely.
More than white.
I hope you guys have taken all these tips, and the point is you either have to be very hot or you have to be very cool. So
you know what?
Yeah, I'm
good news is
it's hot, not warm, because I'm one of them.
Good news is that all the women watching this show right now are either one of these.
Either
so
they're cool
it's
or
okay,
they're
they'll be pretty happy.
Cool. All right. Cool. Thank you so much, Nabiha, for coming here. And I know there was, we could go on about it since it is one of our favorite topics. But we have to close it here. Thank you very much once again for coming. And I like the fact that you're cool. This is my cool friend Nabiha, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Huma. And you have to come for my exhibitions, because now we're also doing exhibitions at the store.
Absolutely. we had Uzma Rao the other day on the show.
Yes, she's been
and we were
exhibiting.
talking about, and actually we were telling you that, her exhibition was going on at the square. So it is Nabiha's Square, that is the place, and you can always go. We've already put up the link to that.
And people are actually contacting us for exhibitions. We're giving them racks and stuff.
Okay, cool, nice. All right, we are taking a very short break. Yeah, we'll be right back. So those racks. Welcome back, and yeah, I hope the ladies are satisfied now and they got all the tips about makeup and cosmetics for this Eid, and yeah, that's about it. You have to first wear that white t-shirt and find out what color you are. You know the drill. Okay, we have the quote for you. It is behind me now. This is a saying from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A bad attitude spoils a good deed just as vinegar spoils honey. It could not have been simpler and more poignant than that. So it's, you know what a bad attitude does to a person. Word for you now, and I picked up this word. I must confess, I had no idea about this word before I picked it up for you guys. So let's learn it together. Please roll drums. And the word of the day is Collogue. Collogue is the word, and collogue means to confer secretly. Yes, that is the meaning, as simple as that, and I'm going to give you a sentence with it. Now you have to take my advice. When you enter a professional affair, inshallah, stay clear of co-workers who huddle together in groups and collogue with one another. Yeah, so basically they are conspiring. How about that? I'm so nice, you know, I give very nice tips as well here and there. Okay, now here's something really bizarre. Now we might have heard of nikah ceremonies where the bride and groom are not physically together, and sometimes the services of a telephone link are used, but imagine the desperation to attend your friend's wedding when you are not even there. Yes, this happened recently in Denver, USA, when a bridesmaid stuck 1,600 miles away in Virginia was able to take part in her best friend's wedding virtually with the help of an iPad. You got to see this. This is very interesting. There's the best friend in the iPad in that frame, and the friend followed the bride down the aisle courtesy of an usher holding a white iPad connected to her webcam. Yeah, seriously, such is the bonding of BFFs, although I wouldn't allow this circus on my wedding. I don't know if you would. But anyway, just thought, you know, this would give you something to talk about this morning. Yeah, so wanted to give you that. Okay, tomorrow is Friday, and we are going to be giving you a very interesting, you know what, from now on we have decided that we are going to be putting up the question of the day, TMS file question that we give you on our Facebook page, so that you are forced to actually join in and you know exactly what to do. So we are going to put it up today and yeah, answer it. Take care. We'll catch you tomorrow. Seize the day.